guys, I'm Sophia.
And I'm Marianne.
And we're here at Aqua Effects today, and we're going to talk about a little bit on our third stage in the filters, which is our membranes.
Okay, membranes. Membranes work like no other filter. They remove dissolved solids. And what a dissolved solid is, the easiest way to decipher if something is or isn't a dissolved solid is if you put it in a pan on the stove with water and you turn it on and you evaporate the water, will there be solids left in that pan or will they evaporate? If they've evaporated, they are not a dissolved solid. Think of salt. If you put salt and water together and you evaporate all the water off, the salt will remain in the pan. That is what's referred to as a dissolved solid. And the TDS levels you measure is T for total, D for dissolved, and S for solids, total dissolved solids. How a membrane works is a membrane actually splits the stream. There's two streams, there's one feed side, and then there's two streams that come out. Technically, one is called the permeate, the water that's made it through the membrane being very, very low in total dissolved solids. And the other stream, the concentrate, which obviously by the name is concentrated in dissolved solids. Commonly, most people call that the waste stream. And it's kind of ironic because even though it's a concentrate of water, it's very integral into having this filter work. The concentrate is constantly rinsing the membrane material. Without it, the membrane would last a very short amount of time. An average membrane, or the membranes technology that everybody uses, has a waste or a concentrate stream of about 4 parts, maybe 5 parts, to each single part of permeate. That makes a lot of people unhappy. Don't know what to tell you there. Some people, me being one of them, I take the waste stream on my RO unit and I run it into my garden. And I put little misting heads. I go ahead and put teas and misting heads, and I take that water and I water plants with it. It will be high in calcium. That alone wouldn't be a problem. The biggest problem is most municipalities use a fluoride. Lots of opinions about whether fluoride systemically is good or bad. There are maximum contaminant levels that should absolutely be abided by. The fluoride will replace the calcium in your bones and make your bones very brittle. So you never give the concentrate stream to a mammal. No dogs, no nothing. Back out to the grass, out to the washing machine. If you've got a swimming pool you want to top off, that's fine. Do not ingest that water.
So what sizes do we carry?
Okay, the most common size we put in a system is 100 gallons per day. We have a 50 gallons per day, a 75 gallon per day, 100 gallon per day, 150 gallon a day, all in standard membrane technology. What differentiates them is the amount of wrapping on the spool, on the center spool. The higher the output, the more membrane material.
So, Miriam, how would you describe the material in the membrane?
The windings, and you'll see that the material is indeed wound around a spool, is a thin film composite. The enemies of a thin film composite material are chlorine, excessive heat, freezing, so they are a little bit delicate. Over 100 degrees Fahrenheit, maybe 110 degrees Fahrenheit, you'll destroy the membrane. Exposure to chlorine will destroy this membrane. Freezing will destroy the membrane. So if you are lucky enough to change your carbons on time and to not freeze or melt your membrane, it should last you anywhere from 3 to 5 years. They're very sturdy other than those criteria.
And Marianne, what are the new technologies with membranes?
Okay, if you really want to not deal with that waste ratio, which is 4 to 1, We have a manufacturer that's come up with a 1-to-1 waste ratio. You can see the outer wrapping on this membrane is even different. It is not the same membrane. It doesn't work the same way exactly, although it does have very good rejection rates. It's a newer membrane, and they are quite a bit more expensive. With that said, on these membranes, if you have reasonably good water quality, you can always piggyback membranes, which means you can take water from the concentrate stream or the waste stream and feed it into a new membrane housing, basically doubling your output and cutting your concentrate in half. This can be done when you have a sufficient amount of pressure and a reasonable water quality. If your water quality is awful to begin with, it's not advised. You'll just start burning through membranes.
Do you have anything larger than these 50 to 150 gallon membranes?
Yes, we do. We've got, we use this one quite commonly. This is a 1,000 gallon a day membrane. Obviously, it's got a different housing. It works wonderfully well. And we do this twice as long, twice as fat. We can handle almost any membrane need at all. One thing to mention about membranes is flow restriction. When the water enters in through this tube, there's a brine seal, and this is the collection tube. The water that makes it through all the layers will end up in that collection tube, and everything in nature takes the path of least resistance. So if you don't put some sort of a back pressure on a membrane housing or on the water going through the membrane, all the water is going to go to the drain. We have adjustable flow restrictors. Some people, instead of, they really don't want that 4-to-1 waste ratio, they'll put a ball valve on there, and that'll work. You can do a 2-to-1. But what you're going to give up and what you're going to gain. What you're going to give up is membrane life, and what you're going to gain is less concentrate. It's like everything in life. There's a trade-off.
Oh, hi. Did you like our video? If you haven't, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and don't forget to comment down below if you have any questions. Thank you from Aqua FX.